Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm here to do the Q&A video about property sourcing that I've been speaking to you guys about. So I finally gathered all of your questions from here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram. And so yeah, I'm about to get ready to answer your questions about property sourcing. So I had about 13 or 14 questions altogether, like excluding the duplicate ones. And so I'm going to split up the video into two just because I feel like if I answer all of the questions in one video, it's just going to be a bit too long and maybe a bit overwhelming also. So yeah, I'm going to split up the video into two. So this is part one of the property sourcing Q&A. Right, so as usual with Q&As, I'm going to be referring to my phone from time to time because that's what I'm going to be reading the questions from. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into these questions. Question one, how you became a property sourcer. How I became a property sourcer, to be honest, it comes down to two things really. Like, it didn't take too much for, and that's just simply because one, I'm someone who believes in having multiple streams of income, and two, I'm someone that is very big on property anyway. So property is definitely one of the major areas that I'm trying to focus on in terms of building my own personal wealth. And so like it just came naturally because I'm at a place right now where like I'm not ready to buy my next investment property just yet. And so doing property sourcing is a great way to generate cash flow, as I've mentioned in previous videos. And so yeah, naturally it just kind of made sense as my next step and direction to go in. So obviously doing my property sourcing, I'm able to, you know, generate more money to be able to add to my savings to buy another property. And at the same time, property sourcing is something that I do enjoy in the sense that I like viewing properties, I like, you know, searching for properties. So if I'm not able to do it for myself at present, then I might as well do it for other people and also get paid at the same time, right? So yeah, that's just sort of like my thinking around, you know, going into property sourcing and why I've gone into it and yeah, what's led to where I am currently. Hopefully that answers the question. Question number two, did you attend any training courses? No, I personally didn't attend any training courses. I didn't pay for any training, and I really just read up loads, you know, watched loads of videos online, and also spoke to a number of different property investors that I know and people that are into property. In particular, I have an auntie who's into property. Now, she's been a property investor for years, and so like she's sort of like my property mentor, and so like a lot of the time I speak to her, pick her brain, and yeah, that's just what has, you know, helped me in terms of my property journey. So yeah, I haven't done any training, and it's literally been like those around me as well as online resources. Question number three, how long did it take for you to become compliant? Or another person phrased it, how long does it take to become fully compliant? To be honest, becoming compliant as a property sourcer doesn't take too long at all, and that's just because most things that you need to do, or all of them really, are done online. And so it depends obviously on how long it takes for you to fill in the applications and also for them to get back to you in terms of like reviewing anything. So yeah, in terms of getting compliant with property sourcing, there are a number of things that you have to do, including setting yourself up as a limited company. That doesn't take long at all. You just go onto a company's house and register your company. It costs £12 or £13. The second thing you need to have in place is professional indemnity insurance. So that's just your standard like business insurance really, and this is a must-have for property sourcing. The next thing is to join a property redress scheme. So this is basically like if you have any issues with customers or clients, this is where they would go to basically deal with any issues rather than going to the court. So it's just like a mediation service. So yeah, in terms of joining a redress scheme, you've either got the property ombudsman or you've got the property redress scheme that you can sign up to for property sourcing. I've signed up with the property redress scheme. You also need to register for anti-money laundering legislation, as well as signing up under the Data Protection Act. So that's with the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office. Question number four, how did you find investors and clients? First of all, for me, I've done quite a lot of it on social media. So on my Instagram, I promoted the fact that I'm into property sourcing. So that's on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, even here on YouTube. I promote it a lot. I talk a lot about it. As well as that, there's also like different groups that you can join on social media. So in particular, on somewhere like Facebook, like you can join loads of Facebook groups whereby they talk about property. There's property investors in there, people that are interested in buying property, people that are interested in, you know, getting properties for rent to rent. So again, you just want to go in there, promote your services, like let people know that this and that is what you do. If you have a deal, post it in the groups, and you know, naturally people will see that this is what you do, and they'll, you know, get more like, you know, acquainted with you because again, they know that you are a property sourcer, and if it's something that they need, you know, they'll want to work with you. As well as social media, there's also your word of mouth. So like telling everybody literally that you are a property sourcer. So as well as your family, your friends, you know, you can tell your colleagues, just tell everyone that you come into contact with, really. Like, just let them know I'm a property sourcer. And to be honest, it's not all the time that you need to focus on telling people that you may think are investors or are interested in investing in property. You may just know somebody that may have, you know, quite a lot of money that they don't want to just leave it in the bank because obviously they won't be able to get much interest of it. You may want to let them know that you are a property sourcer, and so you can help them out by getting a good property that they can invest their money in, which will help them generate more of a return on their money. Another way to find clients is via networking meetings. So obviously with lockdown this year, obviously a lot of events will have been cancelled, and so everything's moved to virtual and online. So if you can find these networking events online, definitely join them, definitely attend and start mingling with the people in the sessions, okay? Some of the sessions may have breakout rooms whereby like you'll get into smaller groups of the people in the overall networking session and be able to talk amongst yourselves. Otherwise, you can just take things into your own hands. If in the meeting you find that, you know, you see somebody or you come across someone that you feel may be an investor and is looking for properties that you may be able to supply them with, then maybe message them privately, let them know that you are a property sourcer and you'll potentially be able to help them find properties. The final way that I'm aware of to get clients is basically by writing to local councils and requesting the details of those that hold HMO licenses. So for example, let's say you wrote to Essex Council, you could ask them basically to supply you with the name and also the contact details or the address for the people that hold HMO licenses within the area. And so in doing that, you'll then be able to write to these people and basically they can start forming sort of like a client database, if you may. To be honest, I think this approach to getting clients is a really good one because naturally, if somebody is a HMO license owner, they are a property investor, like they deal with property. And so even if they're not ready to buy property just yet, like in a few months time, you never know, their situation could change. And by having them on your client database, like you can easily reach out to these people when you have deals. Question number 5, is it mandatory or recommendable to view properties that you source before dealing with an investor? I definitely say like it's recommendable. It's not mandatory, but yeah, it's recommendable to view a property because most times that is really the only way you'll be able to negotiate on a property, because if you haven't seen it, how are you able to talk down the asking price, or how do you know how much more you can talk down the asking price of a property without seeing it? So yeah, I definitely say that it is very recommendable to view a property before giving it on to the clients. Remember also that nowadays viewings can take place virtually, and so you may not necessarily have to go to a physical viewing. And so if it's a case whereby you're looking at a property that is a bit run down and that's where really you're able to get the value in it, in the sense of buying it a lot cheaper, then you may be able to do a virtual viewing, check out the property, get a decent idea of what kind of work is required, and then pass it on to your investor, letting them know like, look, this is the BMV deal, it's going for this much, I'm able to get it for so and so, because obviously it requires you to do, you know, A, B, C to it to get up to scratch. If you're able to show them the numbers and let them know that if you're buying it at this, you know, value, doing up for this much, but being able to make a profit of, you know, X amount after, you know, all the works and other costs are taken into account, if the investor can see that it's still a good deal, then by all means, like, pass on those kind of things. But I think you just need to use your own discretion, really. But I definitely say that, you know, having a viewing of a house is, you know, important and is a good thing to do. And so we're down to the final question now for this first part, and the question is, do you need to open a client bank account to hold the client's money? The answer is yes, you definitely need to open a client bank account. So you can't just hold clients' money in your personal account or your business account. You need to have a separate client account. Those are the requirements that come with being an estate agent. And although you are not technically an estate agent, the role of being a property sourcer falls underneath the sort of like description of an estate agent. And so in the same way that an estate agent would need a client account, you also, as a property sourcer, need to keep your client's money in a client account. So guys, that brings me to the end of part 1 of this property sourcing Q&A, and there were some really good questions in there, and I hope you've gained some value from them. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, you definitely want to stick around for part 2 because the questions are equally just as good. So for example, there's a question coming up about, you know, how to get property investors to trust you if you have no experience or reputation. So yeah, that's a really good question, to be honest. And so if you want to hear the answer to that, definitely stick around, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, keep a lookout for the video. It should be up in the next couple of days anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a thumbs up if you have done, and please do also remember to subscribe and also turn on your bell notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.